you, show of hands in here, would want $1,000 in there? Raise your hand. Yeah, give me 1,000, Schultz. Anyone here want 1,000? Hands high, be honest. Okay, hands down. Now make sure you're really honest now. Show of hands, how many of you be willing to give $1,000 away to a stranger today? Or to a classmate? Oh, all the hands are down now, okay? I'm going to explain what this check means right now. I'm going to take you back, story time. 14 years ago, little Stevie Schultz, I'm 24 years old. I'm a student teacher here at Fountain Valley High School. My first day is called a senior reg class. This is back before. Now all of our classes are college prep. This was a class that was a non-college prep English class. Seniors, one of the toughest classes to teach. Senior regs English. I'm a student teacher. I have no idea what I'm doing. But don't worry, you'll be fine. You've coached before. Remember the first day I'm talking for a little bit, no one's paying attention. It was just chaos. But then as the weeks went on, we started bonding with each other. We started getting closer, getting better. We had one kid in class. We'll call him Jack. That wasn't his real name. And a lot of his friends came to me and concerned that, yo, Jack is partying heavily. He's drinking hard. We're worried about not only is he ditching a lot of school, not only might he not graduate, we're not even sure if he's going to survive the year. Schultz, can you do something about it? And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. I thought about it for a little while, and Jack's behaviors kept getting worse. And all of Jack's journals, you talk about how you want to get that back, you got paper, you want to become rich. So one day I pull him aside and say, yo, what's your price, man? I said, what do you mean? What's your price? How much money is it going to take you to behave on the weekend, to come to school, to show up, and to graduate? He's like, Schultz, you don't got the money. I go, what's your price? They know what you're doing. You don't need to care about me. My own family doesn't care about me. You don't need to care about me. No one cares about me. I care about you. But more importantly, I need you to care about you. Name your price. How much it gets you to come to school and graduate? He's like, $1,000. I was like, all right, bet, whatever. And then went back to class, doing our thing. Next day, come to class. We usually start journals back then. I did a journal every day. I'll put something on the board, a picture, an image, a piece of art, a video, whatever. They would respond to it. And that class is pretty rowdy. It would take a little while for them to get calmed down. The next day we come to class, and on the screen is a personal check, my name, my address, to Jack, $1,000. The date is the day after graduation, June something. And it's signed, and it's blown up onto the screen. Now, no one in class knows about our conversation. But this class gets quiet real quick. They're like, what is going on here? So you should see a personal check on the board from a teacher. And Jack is back. We start talking to some girl in the back. And all of a sudden, Jack faces forward. And he sees the check on the screen. $1,000! And I'm staring at Jack. Jack's staring at me. Everyone's staring at me and Jack. Jack and I. And big macho Jack, 18-year-old Jack, who, Mr. Tough Guy, doesn't need school, no one cares about me. His bottom lip starts quivering. What does that mean? What does it mean your bottom lip starts to quiver? Nervous? No. He's crying, and he's trying not to cry. Why is this image of a check making this young man cry? Can't hear you. You think money's making him cry? What's making him cry? Yes.
The fact you care.
The fact that I care. The fact that someone cares. The fact that for the first time in his life, someone is proving to you, I love you. You're worth it. You're enough. It matters. You matter. Now, keep in mind, I'm a 24-year-old college kid. I'm paying to be a student teacher. My entire life savings is a little more than $1,000. I was willing to give away my entire life's net worth to the child of a stranger. I asked you all at the start of class, who wants $1,000? You all said yes. Who wants to give $1,000? Your all hands went down. I was willing to give away all I had to the child of a stranger so he could be all that he could be. And then I gave him a handwritten letter. I explained to the class Jack's and I conversation. And I said, Jack, you can't miss any more school unless you're legitimately sick. No more ditching. Fix up your life for the weekend. Graduate. And I'll be there at your graduation. And I'll hand you this check. He's like, no, Captain. I'm like, dead ass. It's yours. Bet on it. And then I gave everyone in class, all those seniors, a $100,000 candy bar. And I said, Jack, next time the world asks you what your price is, you got $100,000 that thing. Your price is too low. You got to top it. You're the senior regs. You're the kids everyone says aren't important because you're not college material. Screw that. You matter. You're valuable. You don't need to go to college to be important. A $100,000 mindset. Stop playing low. Stop minimizing yourself. Upgrade your value. Ask for a higher cost. And then work so hard, invest in yourself and others, that you raise up your values so you become more valuable. Improve your skills and your talents and the value you add to others and the values you cherish and exude so you become more valuable. And then life went on. I started teaching. I didn't tell anyone that story in public for 10 years. The only one knew was that one little class. And about 2 years ago, morale for teachers had become really low. The way we were treated by the public, our pay, teachers were the lowest morale I've ever seen working on this campus and around the nation. The way America treats its teachers is disgusting and despicable. And so I wrote an article for the Fountain by Living magazine. And the cover, the photo was a $100,000 candy bar on my article. And for the first time I told that story publicly about the check I wrote for Jack. My entire life savings. And I said, I'm just one of many teachers across America who every single day are writing real checks and figurative checks for other people's kids. I spend $1,000 a year in my classroom. The literal tissues your children wipe their snot with, we pay for. The desk I sit in, the chair I sit in, I pay for. The refrigerator I put my food in at lunch, I pay for. And so on and so on and so on. And my question at the end was, when is America going to write the check that teachers deserve? When is America going to make teachers feel the way we make kids feel? When is America going to give teachers the $100,000 mentality, mindset, and respect? And a bunch of teachers in the Fountain Valley School District, the elementary middle schools, responded to that article and said, hey, Schultz, we're in a contract dispute right now with our school board. We need you to come speak to the school board on our behalf. I was like, nah, they're not going to care what I have to say. As well as like I became Jack and they became me. He's like, no, your voice has value, Schultz. Like, we need you, people in the community, care what you have to say. Like, no one cares about what I have to say. But yes, we do. Come speak on our behalf. We're trying to get a 2% raise. We can't even get that. We're already underpaid. So the first time in my life, I go and speak in front of a school board. Not mine. I gained nothing from this. But for me, it was just weird because when I was a student in the Family School District, I was the Giesler student. I go to speech therapy classes. I felt invisible. I felt worthless. I was afraid to talk because I mumbled and slurred. And now, the teachers of this district wanted my voice to help them. And I went and spoke on the school board of why they need to pay teachers more to give them that 2% raise and treat them better. Having no idea as I'm speaking to the school board that in 2 years, I was going to become the school board. And fast forward 2 years, it was a year ago last summer. Teachers came to me again, hey, Steve, we need you to run for school board. I go, no, I don't think so. We need you. No one's going to want to vote for me. No one's going to care. Yeah, they will. See, sometimes the hardest advice to take is your own. Here I've spent an entire decade plus instilling confidence and belief and love in other people, but I've never been too good at giving it to myself. It's kind of like you can't tickle yourself. It's kind of hard to inspire yourself too sometimes. You follow your own advice. So I filed the paperwork a year ago last August to run for school board. And then the day before the deadline, I talked to a bunch of people, the experts. They all told me, you can't win. You're not going to be able to win this election. There's 2 incumbents, which means people who are currently in power. They've never lost. They've blown everyone out of the water. They're not going to win. It's going to be embarrassing. I say, I'm pulling out. And I call one of the guys who asked me to run. I can't do it, man. Like, no, you have to stay in. We need you. You can win. We need you. I was like, okay, fine. And in my mind, the best case scenario was that I might be able to squeak into that second place spot. Maybe. That was the highest hope for me. I was downgrading myself. I wasn't following my own advice. And then I only had one volunteer at this point. His name was Mason. He was an ASB vice president here last year, my former student who was a senior. Just him and I at this point. And I call up Mason and say, Mason, I'm about to order 1,000 door hangers. I remember we're in the midst of COVID. But there's a part of me that wants to order 2,000. Do you think we can get enough volunteers to do 2,000? He says, sorry, Schultz, I can't get any volunteers right now just to do 1,000. I don't think it can happen. I go, okay, I hung up the phone. I was about to click 1,000. The same price Jack gave himself 14 years earlier. The weirdest thing happened. All of a sudden in my head I saw myself, my 25-year-old self, who was talking to Jack. This time he wasn't talking to Jack, he was talking to me, the future me. And he had a big 100 grand candy bar and he said, are you crazy, Steve? Only 1,000? Upgrade yourself, bet on yourself. You want to win this thing? Follow your own advice. 100 grand that mother. I was like, yeah. That's right, Steve. You're right. I'm going to do it. And I scrolled down right past 2,000 to 10,000 and clicked buy. Damn. That's right. Damn. I called Mason. Hey, Mason, good news. He's like, what's that? I didn't order 2,000. He's like, hey, good. I ordered 10,000.
You a broke boy.
It was something. He said, what the? Are you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious. He said, how are you going to do that? I go, I don't know. But I saw my little voice in the candy bar. He's like, what? I'm like, don't worry about it. We're going to get it done. If I have to, I'll do it all myself. And then slowly, as my message started getting out there about how we can redo school and reimagine how we teach kids, that school should be a place that teaches love, a love of learning and a love for yourselves and each other. That that's your 6, meaning that every kid feels connected to all 6 of their teachers. All 6 K through 5, and all 6 of the middle school teachers every year, and all 6 of the high school teachers. Not just that 1 or 2, but all 6 got your 6. All 6 got your back. Feel connected to. We can redo school. Not about memorization, but imagination. And not about compliance, but connection. Not about rules, but relationships. Lifelong love of learning and learning to lead your life with love. And the message started spreading. And more and more people started volunteering to walk with me. And I walked for 2 months, 2 hours every day. Helpers. And 2 weeks before Election Day, I placed a 10,000th door hanger on a house between the city of Huntington Beach and the city of Fountain Valley. 10,000. We did it. But I still had no idea if we're going to be successful or not. Again, in my mind, my highest goal was maybe I could squeak into second place. Election day comes. I go to the Water District, the place I used to work at my sophomore year of high school. And there on the front page of the voting machine, on the left side, is President Trump, Biden, and right across, school board, Steve Schultz. Never in my wildest dreams, when I was at the Water District as a sophomore in high school, did I ever think I could be on a ballot. Shy, autistic, insecure little Steve Schultz could be on the ballot and right across from the President of the United States. Of course, I voted for myself, and then I came home, and that night, my roommate knocks at my door. That's where I have a roommate, because we don't get paid enough as teachers. I'm a grown man with a master's degree, and I can't afford a home in the place I teach. That's how terrible we treat teachers. And knocks on my door, and she says, "You're up. You're winning." I go, "I'm in second place?" She goes, "No, you're in first place." I was like, "What?" And days would go by, and in my mind, I would not accept I won, because every day more results come in. And everyone's like, "You won?" You're like, "It's not official yet, and I don't want to jinx it." somehow I still felt some way I wasn't going to do it. When it was all said and done, we didn't just win second, we won first with the most votes ever, the highest margin of victory ever, and the youngest person to ever do it. Almost 17,000 people voted for me. And none of it would have happened had I not bet on myself. I almost doubted so many times, I almost quit so many times because I let fear run my life, and when fear runs your life, fear ruins your life. But when love leads your life, love elevates your life. You go from $1,000 to $100 grand. 100 grand yourself. And when the first thing I did back in the school, remember I said, hey, I want to give all of our teachers a bonus. We never give teachers a bonus. We have all this extra COVID money. Every teacher a bonus. I said, no one's going to be able to pass that. Not going to get it done. And all my board members and I agreed we're going to give each other a bonus. And the amount we agreed on was $1,000. Wanted to honor Jack all those years earlier. And honor every kid that's ever doubted themselves. Every kid that was told you can't do something. And honor every teacher that's made a kid believe you can. So honor every teacher that ever made a kid believe they can be more. Every employee, $1,000 bonus and a 2% raise. The raise they have wanted 2 years earlier when I spoke from the school board. Now as a school board member, I helped them get it. And I had kids ask me, wait, do you get the raise? Do you get the bonus? I go, no, I didn't get anything. So then, why are you doing this? I go, what do you mean? I'm serving my community. I'm making, that's 700 employees. That's braces for them. That's a family vacation. That makes a difference. We have to get this mindset of what's in it for me and shift to how can I serve others. It's not about you. It's what you can do for other people. And after we pass that bonus, every other school board in this area also passed a bonus for teachers except for one. The Huntington Beach Union High School District, the one you are a student, the one I am a teacher in. Well, the only one that they didn't give us a bonus. But every other school district around here did. No. I guess they feel we didn't deserve it, I don't know. But at least I was glad I fought for teachers. I fought for kids. And I bet on myself. And every one of you in this room, and even at me at 35, when I was doubting, I hope you have someone, hope you listen to your own advice and remind yourself, 1,000 isn't enough. 100 grand that. Upgrade it. The world's going to ask you constantly, what's your price? Raise your price. Bet on yourselves and invest in others. You can change the world. You want to change the world? Change the words you use inside your world. You're enough. Yes, you can. Your voice has value. Even if you're that shy, quiet, introverted kid, gotta go to speech therapy classes, like I did. Your voice has value too. And one day you might see your name next to the president. Maybe one day your name will be running for president. President of the United States, president of your HOA, maybe mayor, maybe school board, maybe governor, maybe just president of your company, president of your son or daughter's Girl Scout troop, or AYSO soccer. Get involved. Make your world a better world because you're in it and you're involved. Name your price. So right now in your journal, you're going to choose some area in your life that you're doubting right now. What's the area of your life that you need to raise the price? What's the area of your life you need to have that 100 grand mindset right now and do more? And then also, don't just identify the area. Next paragraph, what specific action you're going to take to make that better? How are you going to do 10,000 door hangers? How are you going to create a coalition of team around you to make it happen? What specific action are you going to take in that area the 100 grand is to make yourself more valuable, adding more value to others? Does that make sense? You with me? Start writing. Here we go.